In 2015, I almost quit real estate. I almost left altogether and went back to corporate America because I was failing so badly. So in order to tell you that part, I gotta back up just a little bit further. In 2005, my husband and I had just moved to California. We lived right outside of Napa. We had a 2-month-old baby, and home prices in 2005 were insane in California. A starter home was $500,000. And I said, we're never gonna buy a house on a single income. At the time, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom with our brand new baby. And so I decided I would get my real estate license and figured if I sold one home a month, we'd be making bank and everything would be great. And I'd only have to work like 2 hours a day, because back before we get licensed, don't we all kind of think that? Tons of flexibility, very few hours, and the money is just rolling in. Well, as you know, that's not really what happens. So I sold my first home, then the market started to go downhill. And in the next year, I think I sold 3 houses, and now it's 2006. Everyone is afraid to buy because prices are going down. Nobody is able to sell because prices are going down, and nobody wants to buy a house for $400,000 today and have it be worth $375,000 in 3 months. None of the inventory is moving. Nobody can buy, nobody can sell. I am seriously putting my resume back out there into corporate America, applying for jobs, thinking there's no way I'm gonna be able to make this work. I'm not willing to cold call people, but I don't know any other way to get business. I'm new here. Nobody really knows me. I don't have a big sphere that I can start calling on. And I stumbled into REO listings. That's a whole story in and of itself, but suffice it to say, I went from selling 3 homes that year to 72 transaction sides in 2008. So I went from being a brand newbie who knew nothing to just exploding overnight and became kind of a big fish in a small pond, if you will. I would meet people, and as soon as I told them my name, they were like, oh, I see your signs everywhere. I mean, I became the president of the Women's Council of Realtors chapter in my town. I was Realtor of the Year the following year with them. Life was great. I was selling a lot of houses. I was making a lot of money, and life was very good. And then baby number 2 came along, and we realized we were all the way on the West Coast with no family around us. And we decided we should move back east. So we started looking for anything that we could find in the Savannah area, because that's where my mom and dad lived, and we wanted to be closer to them. And my husband found a job on Hilton Head Island, which is like 30 miles away from where my parents lived. So we decided to take it, and we bit the bullet, and we just moved cross country in October of 2013. Well, I was under the mistaken impression that all I would have to do is tell all of these banks that were hiring me like crazy to sell all of their REO properties that I've changed where I live. So I'm no longer servicing these zip codes, I'm now servicing these zip codes. And I took a little bit of time off to get situated in our new house, get my daughter settled in school. I had to get licensed in South Carolina, find a brokerage to join, and then I started working and was like, okay, where are my listings? And the first month I did not get any. And the second month I did not get any. And the third month I did not get any. And at that point I really started to panic because I realized I did not know how to prospect at all. What was I gonna do to get clients? Nobody knows me, I have no name recognition. So I started doing anything I could think of, which included door knocking, farming, open houses, posting on Craigslist, posting on Facebook, running Facebook ads, trying to call people that lived in California that had done business with me years ago. Even though they have no plans on moving to Hilton Head, I said, if you're thinking of selling your house, I can refer you to somebody, thinking at least I could get a referral fee out of it. And none of that was really working. And it was very, very humbling because I had gone from being a very productive agent. At the time I was with RE/MAX, I was in the Hall of Fame. Like I was doing some business, and now I was doing nothing. I felt like a complete and utter failure. The whole time that I lived in Hilton Head for a year, I did not sell a single house. And then my husband came home and said, my old company wants me back, but they don't have a position in this area. It's in Atlanta. What do you think? And we decided we would go. So we moved again. And now it was another state that I had to get licensed in. And I had a girlfriend that lived in the Atlanta area. And I honestly said, I don't think I'm going to stay in real estate. This is just too hard. I am not making any money at all. I don't know. I just don't have it in me. You know, I'm 40 something years old at this point. I just don't have the energy to start over in another market. And she basically would not let me quit. So Angel, thank you. You're the reason I'm still in real estate. And I ended up joining a brokerage that would give me leads. So at least I immediately had people to start working with again, and I had business coming in. I was working with clients, I was selling houses, I felt productive. The problem was the split was so low. I was not making any money whatsoever. So after I closed, I don't know, 6 or 8 transactions with that brokerage, I went to Keller Williams, who I am still with today, where they are on the 100% commission structure. And I said, I'm willing to learn how to generate my own business. I just don't know what to do. Somebody needs to teach me. So I promptly took this class where they were teaching you all of the old school methods of getting clients. Door knocking, going to networking events and passing out your business card, calling for sale by owners, calling expired listings. They wanted us to go to the mall one day after the class, and as our homework assignment, we had to pass out 100 business cards. Well, the very second person that I approached and said, hey, let me introduce myself. Here's my business card. Are you thinking about buying or selling a house or know anyone who is? Turned out to be the undercover security guard who promptly escorted me off the premises, like literally walked me to my car and shoved me in my car. It was mortifying. Like, really? I'm in my 40s at this point and you're throwing me out of the mall. The following week we were calling expired listings, and this man said, you are the 17th person to call me since 8 o'clock this morning. You people are vultures. I don't want anything to do with you. Kindly F off. And I just thought, this sucks. I hate every minute of it. If this is what I have to do to get business, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave the industry and I'm going to go back to corporate America. So I brainstormed a lot. I started Googling, how do you get business on Facebook? I was just looking for anything, and I came across this blog post that talked about blogging and how you could get business from blogging. And it was from a company called Easy Agent Pro, who is a website provider for real estate agents. I ended up going with an Easy Agent Pro website, started blogging, started getting business. It was wonderful. But it takes a long time to write a good blog post. It would take me a week to write a 3,000 word blog post. And I thought, what if I made a video? I could probably say 3,000 words in no time flat, and it would be a lot easier than writing this big blog post. So I did. I started making videos and I put them on my YouTube channel just because I needed a place to embed the video into the blog post. So the way my website works is you take the link from YouTube, you embed it in your blog post. I was really, truly thinking that YouTube was a repository for the videos. I never stopped to think that anybody might be searching for them on YouTube. I mean, hello, but it just didn't occur to me back then. This was 2016. I had never been a blogger before. I'd never made videos before. I just didn't know. And then my husband gets transferred again, only instead of going back to Hilton Head, we stayed in Georgia. We stayed on the Savannah side of the border, which again is just right across the border from Hilton Head. But we stayed in Georgia for me so that I did not have to get licensed in another state yet again, because I had let my South Carolina license lapse. So we promptly get to Savannah. We are literally still unpacking boxes. We've only been here a couple of days, and I get that phone call that changed my life. This man said, we found you on YouTube. We've watched all of your videos. We feel like we know you already. We're selling our house in New York. We're gonna move to Georgia and we want you to help us. And that conversation, I will never ever forget that conversation, because he said, we feel like we know you already, and we want to hire you to help us buy a $500,000 house. And I said, unfortunately, I don't live in Atlanta anymore. I literally moved 5 hours away last week. You've got the worst timing in the world. And he was so disappointed that he was not going to get to work with me specifically. His wife was like, so distraught that they were not going to get to meet me and work with me and allow me to sell them a very expensive house, which boggled my mind. But it was all because they said they felt like they knew me already. So I thought, okay, I was making videos specifically to put them on the blog, but I was not making them for YouTube. I was not making them with any consistency. I was not making them with a schedule. I was not optimizing them to show up on YouTube searches. I wasn't doing any of that. So I wonder if I did, how much better would it be if I actually put some thought into this and some strategy behind it, and I had a content calendar where I was consistent? How much better would it work? Because I already know that it works. What if I actually tried to make this a business strategy for attracting leads? So I did. In June of 2017, I said I'm going to make one video a week. We now are getting multiple leads a day. I went from being a solo agent to hiring an assistant, to forming a team, to branching out into other cities. We now have a bona fide team. We get inbound leads every single day without fail from videos that we made weeks and months and years ago. YouTube is truly the best business decision that I've ever made in my life. So if you are ready to start getting business from YouTube, watch this video next. I go into a lot more detail about using YouTube as a strategy, and be sure that you subscribe to this channel because I want to teach you all of my Jedi mind tricks about how you can get business from YouTube.